I'm ready to announce my 500 million GP Inferno challenge. I want to give you a little bit of backstory on my account. My name's Colton, and I've been playing on the same account for the past 3 years on Old School Runescape. That account is a combat and slayer only account, or something that I like to call an 807, because the total max level you can get on the account type is 807. Me and all of the other 807s out there, we all have an in-game goal of completing the Inferno someday. We know it's possible. We've seen people go for super low level Inferno capes, and we've seen people go for melee only up to Zuck, but I don't think it's ever been done in the specific way of an 807. A lot of the thought process behind this actually came from Verf. A lot of you guys have probably watched his series or seen him live streaming talking about his Inferno challenge. Years ago, he actually helped me formulate some of the beginning plans and thought processes for this run on an 807 account. I'm gonna put up 500 million GP to the first person that can complete the Inferno with the gear restrictions of an 807. I don't necessarily need you to go and make an account. You can do this on any account you want. You can do it on a main, you can do it on Iron Man, whatever it is. You don't have to build a full account. Now, if you want to, I do have a video that I'm going to recommend and have the link in the description below that'll show you everything you could possibly need to start a combat and slayer only account. I'm also going to reference this video a lot more throughout the rest of this challenge video. The only big difference that you'll run into is the agility level, and that's something that me and the other 807 accounts will have to figure out on our own. Now that I got that out of the way, you guys got a background on the account itself, I just want to jump into the first rules of the competition, because I'm only giving out the money to someone who does everything just the way I need it to be. And the first rule of the competition of the challenge to earn yourself the 500 mil is you have to record or live stream or both, and obviously showing the inventory and equipment screen and everything like that before you jump into the Inferno. Just make sure that everything is seen from wave 1 all the way to the end of Zuck. The best way to send those videos to me would be my Discord, and I'll have that linked in the description below. I'll have a channel specifically set up and built for the Inferno challenge where you can put your submissions, you can ask questions about specific gear if you are uncertain. Plus, other 807s who are also trying to learn can watch those videos, even the failures, and see if they can learn something from it. Rule number 2, you must use gear that is built around the 807 or combat and slayer only account style. If you're uncertain of specific gear, I'd recommend checking out the video that's linked in the description below, because you'll be able to find a full list of everything you could possibly get on the combat and slayer only accounts. There will be a few restrictions you have to follow when completing the Inferno, specifically with the gear. Even though it's possible, I don't want to allow a twisted bow or any spirit shields from Corp. There are also a few other restrictions outside of the gear, like no ancients or no chinchampas. Due to the fact that those have skilling requirements, there's literally no way to bring them into the Inferno anyways. I want to throw in a bonus 100 mil for anyone that can complete the Inferno challenge without the Eldritch Staff from Nightmare of Ash. It's possible to get the Eldritch Staff, and I think it'll be really, really good for the 807 accounts when doing Inferno attempts. If you can do it without the Eldritch Staff, I'll throw in an extra 100 mil, so 600 mil total. You'll probably wonder what you're going to use to kill the nibblers. The best solution that we've come up with so far and actually tested has been a mix between the rune throne axes and Tazar rings that you can buy, or some form of other spec weapon that you could take a look at on the spreadsheet, like the Din's Bulwark or maybe a Dragon two-hander. If you want to test around with things like that, or if you have another suggestion that maybe isn't on the spreadsheet, let me know and I'll confirm with you in the Discord. The main gear setups are pretty self-explanatory, and again, just double check on the spreadsheet that you know the gear is possible on a combat and slayer only. There's some do's and don'ts that I want to cover. There's no third-party cheat clients allowed, so if there's anything that's showing, you know, where to stand, stuff like that, stuff that would potentially get me banned, I don't want to see any of that. There's also no way you can do things like the gnome delivery system. If it's not possible on 807, or if it's game breaking in any way, please do not use it. The tile markers are allowed. That is something you can use. That's perfectly fine. Anything that's like legitimate on RuneLite, that's okay. Another thing that I used during testing was scouting the waves. You can use wave scouts if you want. So I'm going to go over the gear that I and my chat have come up with over the past few test runs. For the armor that you're going to use during the fight, we're thinking a mix between Justiciar, Aram's, Carol's, Ancestral, or God D'hide. And then for the boots, you'll probably be looking at Devout boots, maybe Brimstone, God D'hide, or Rangers. Again, you can take all of these and kind of play around with them and figure out the best gear setup for you. For the necklace, you're probably looking at a glory trimmed being the best in slot. You could bring a god stole or a power amulet. For the cape slot, I'd recommend a range cape trimmed. It's probably the best thing, only thing you should bring. For ammunition, depending on what weapon you bring, you're looking at rune arrows for the MSB, onyx bolts imbued for the rune crossbow, and bolt racks for the carrols. For the weapons themselves, the MSB imbued is an option, the rune crossbow, a carol's crossbow, and then for some utility items, you're looking at a sang staff or potentially an eldritch staff. For the gloves, you're looking at granite gloves, combat bracelet, or god band braces. For the actual supplies during the Inferno, we can get everything from TOB and boss drops. So stuff like Ceradome and Brews, restores, prayer potions, ranging pots, and staminas are all available. Bring however many you feel comfortable with. I do want to give a quick shout out to everyone who helped me make the Inferno challenge possible and potentially helped with theory crafting the gear and things like that from the get-go. Anyways, guys, I think that's all I have. Best of luck to you if you decide to compete in the Inferno challenge. Also, if you maybe don't think that you could complete the Inferno challenge on your own, be sure to send this video to anyone that you know of that you think would be able to have a chance at winning it. If they have an Inferno cape already, if they're really good at the game, whatever, maybe they need 500, 600 mil, send it to them, let them know that it's happening. I'd love to see a big turnout and get this 500 mil or potentially 600 mil if they go for the bonus one out to anyone as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching again, and if you have more questions, please let me know in the Discord or anywhere on my social media. Thanks, guys. Bye.